Ropp Star Gang, what up? What up? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Welcome to the Ropp Star Report, as always. Your host, Clay Ropp, or at RoppStar92. That is all the social media. And of course, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Welcome. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Everyone's in the chat already, blowing it up. Let's see who's in here already. Mad Chatter, Lomac, Zach, Day One Panthers fan, Marcos Cash, Jadarius, NFL the Kid, Jane, Flame, for Jesus, Earl Locklear. What is going on, everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Welcome to today's episode. We got a lot to talk about. Clowney returns home. Is Gilmore next? And what is Diontae's impact on the offense? What will it be like? Is he going to impact this? How is he going to impact this offense? How is he going to impact the locker room? That's another question. And, I see a lot of people already talking about the draft already. We're already talking about, we've been talking about the draft. I mean, we've been talking about the draft since the end of the season, right? I mean, that's what we've done how many? I think we've done almost every episode, at least one mock draft. So, which is pretty insane to think about. All right. Let me share my stream. Let me share my screen. Guys, as you're coming in, make sure you pound the like button. That's all I ask. Just pound the ever-living shit out of it. All right. Pound it like it owes you money. I know you've heard that saying before. What's up, two fans, Tony? Are you done? Every time I think of a name like Tony, I'm like, it's like Italian. It's like, hey, are you done? Hey, are you done? You mother. You know what I mean? Tony Soprano. Great show, by the way. Great show. If you've never watched The Sopranos, you need to. What the team is currently constructed, we should win 5 games easily, unless anything less will be a bad year. We shall see, Flames for Jesus. We shall see. We shall see for sure. We'll dive into that because we're going to talk about a little bit about that schedule. Let's talk about Mr. Fan favorite safety. I know I already put a short out about this, but the Panthers bring back Sam Franklin Jr. On another year. I think Joe Parsons was the first one to make this report, actually, of The Athletic. Signing a 1-year deal. For those of you who don't know, Sam Franklin was an undrafted free agent in May of 2020. After playing 4 years at Temple, of course, he was a Matt Rule product. Made an impression on the team as a special teams ace, increasing numbers of snaps on the unit in each of his seasons with the Panthers. I would say most notably, he's known for last year with that 99-yard interception return against the Vikings. Over his time in the Panthers, he's played 64 games. He's had over 97 tackles combined, including 3 for a loss, a pick 6, a sack, a forced fumble, 5 passes defended, and 2 quarterback hits. 28 years old. He's going to return to the Panthers, obviously, to provide some defensive depth, but of course, he is going to be known for that special teams expert. So welcome back, Mr. Franklin. I'm looking forward. I was glad they signed him back. I think Sam Franklin's a dog, man. I say Sam Franklin's a dog. Welcome home, Jadeveon Clowney. Welcome home. Now, of course, last night, the Panthers finally reached a deal with Jadeveon Clowney. He's agreed to a 2-year deal, $20 million contract that was worth up to the maximum of 24 with incentives, I think, bonuses and stuff like that. To me, this was a major relief. Right off the shoulders of me as a Panthers fan who obviously traded away their edge rusher Brian Burns to the New York Giants earlier. But to me, I was ready to trade Burns. Y'all know that. If you watch my show, I was not high on Burns. A lot of people give him the excuse. It's funny how like people give Brian Burns the excuse because he did that, last year. The reason why he didn't give the production is because he didn't have help. But then we talk about Frankie Louvu and Derek Brown. But we're pissed off that we lost Frankie Louvu. But yeah, we don't give any excuses to the guy playing quarterback who's a rookie, who had two different coaches, two different head coaches, two different offensive coordinators, had more voices in his head than Randy Orton. But don't get me started. But I'm just saying, we give excuses for that guy, but we don't give excuses to a guy who's only played one season under one of the worst situations that was put together in Carolina, not only in NFL history, in my opinion, but in Carolina Panthers history. So, anyways, back to the subject. Clowney fills a huge need for the team. Now, I'm not going to say that this guy, as much as I'm a fan of Clowney, watched him play all of his years as a Gamecock fan in South Carolina. Not going to say that this guy has lived up to the number one overall pick in his career. I will be honest in that aspect of things. But do I love Jadeveon Clowney? Absolutely. We brought in guys like DJ Wanu, another Gamecock, by the way. Now you just need Stefon Gilmore, who we're going to talk about here shortly. To fill that, you get all the Gamecocks in here, but then you get Kavlon Chasen, who was a first round pick in the 2020 draft out of LSU. Didn't really do much, didn't live up to the hype. But also played behind better guys than he was. And maybe that was because he was never developed correctly there in Jacksonville, and maybe that could be a potential product that ends up becoming what he was at LSU. But we know that Clowney's a proven pass rusher. Let's be honest. The Ravens signed him to a 1-year deal, $2.5 million contract last year. On the final day of training camp, he went on to earn a $2.75 million incentives by exceeding the 9 sacks, and participated in over 60% of the Baltimore's defensive snaps. Now, Clowney's a 3-time Bowl bowler. He's played on 4 different teams in the last 5 seasons. He's played for Seattle, Tennessee Titans, Browns, and the Ravens. And he has recorded over 363 tackles, 52.5 sacks, 15 forced fumbles, and 10 seasons. Now, the thing is here is Tony knows what's up. Tony knows what's up. Oh, T. Thompson. Damn it. That's too funny. That's too soon, T. Thompson. That's too soon, brother. That's too soon. Oh, man. Wasn't Franklin supposed to be in a cornerback coming into the NFL? Lomax, he played in the XFL, I think, before he even came over here. He was playing over there. But he's always been safety. Oh, man, that's too funny, T. Thompson. Nice. Vietnam's on the lunch break, chilling. Remember I used to name this lunch break with Clay, basically. What's good, Vietnam? Zavala and Mingo need to go with Bryce. I mean, playing for Jesus. I don't disagree with the Zavala thing. I'm willing to give him an extra chance to Mingo, and I'm still willing to give Bryce another chance. Guys, you know how I am. I'm 50-50. 50-50 on the kid. But the reason why Jadeveon Clowney chose to come here is because he revealed his decision that he was influenced by the fact that he's just 30 minutes away from home, right? Where he does all of his community and foundation work anyways. His granddaddy is getting older and he's still there. He also mentioned that as a team, we pursued him the hardest, which was making a special day for him and his wife. Despite the interest from the Ravens and the Jets, he just chose family over the immediate contention. And then Dave Canales took social media to express his excitement over the acquisition of Jadeveon Clowney. Um, and this is a homecoming for him. It's a major boost for the Panthers, who have been struggling in finding reliable pass rush and help this team, this offseason. But this team finished last in the league last year in sacks. We only had 27 sacks as a team total. And also, we trade, like I said, we trade away Birds with, and this guy's coming off his career best. And I think that as a guy who's from this area and is coming off, sorry, what the fuck just happened? Are we still live right now? Like, are we live? Are we live right now? Is this real life? I found my dude, what in the world? Yeah, I'm calling my internet people tomorrow. Oh yeah. We're gonna mute that bad boy. Mute that bad boy. Haha, look at that. Two different angles. Sweet. That's sick. You don't need to see two of me. I just was trying to pull it up on my phone. All right. Sorry about that, guys. My internet just went out for some reason and it popped right back on. So weird. It just loves to do that. My internet loves to go out and then it comes right back on and then it's perfect the rest of the day. Did Clay freeze? I froze like a motherfucker. I froze like a mother. Clay froze. Clay, thank you, Tony. Everybody's like, "Damn, dude, you froze. You good? You good? All right, all right, all right." So where was I getting at with this whole thing? I think I was talking about. I talked about Dave Canales, welcome him home. What was I else talking about? I was talking about the reason why. I knew this guy. I was talking about the reason why Jadeveon Clowney. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because of all this. But again, so the reason why I knew, bringing this guy home though, again, well, that's what I was getting at. I remember now. The reason why they brought this guy home, right, was because obviously being a product of South Carolina, the impact he had on that university, only being 30 minutes away, Rock Hill, obviously that was the biggest thing for him. But I will never forget what Jadeveon Clowney did for the University of South Carolina because of what the impact he had there from a recruiting standpoint. And of course, Steve Spurrier, like I said, had a huge part of that because Steve Spurrier was a great recruiter, right? But but this guy's going to be hungry. I know he's 31 years old, but he's going to be hungry to, and so I think, the real reason that he came here, the real reason he came back to Carolina was because family. Yeah, I already mentioned that. Like his grandfather's getting old. Him and his wife just had a baby, I think not too long ago. So stuff like that. So obviously, but also we needed to fill the void. A lot of people are also like saying that like this move makes no sense, right? There's a lot of people out there who are still crying about the whole Brian Burns thing. Like, I know Twan over there at Charlotte Bound loves to call people bisexuals, right? The ones that support Bryce. But I like to call people who are the Brian Burns fans, Brian Burns crybabies. Because you sign Brian Burns, you don't sign any of these guys. You don't have the money to do so. You can't, there's no way if we would have taken that, that's the thing that people need to realize. You can't sign a big contract for one player and bring balance to the team. It doesn't work that way. Like we're trying to bring balance, stability, and be competitive again. We weren't competitive last year. So it's about bringing balance and stability. And that's what Dan Morgan is doing. He's just bringing these guys in. Yeah, they're only short-term contracts because it's not a win now situation. This is to get us into a win now situation. You get guys like this, you get veterans so that when you bring in, right? When you bring in these kinds of guys and you bring in the draft, right? You build within the draft. You can let those draftees sit behind these kinds of guys to develop. Now, not necessarily some of these guys we might draft end up being day one starters, and that can happen for sure. But if they do end up being project developmental players, at least you have them behind veterans that they can learn from and develop. And that's the same reason why they want to bring it. And that's the same reason why Canales wants to bring in a third QB, because it's like, if they're in the game film room, right, it's not just going to be like, okay, Andy, what do you think about this? And then it's right to Bryce. Like now you have a third guy, you bring the competition in, you learn from each other, and that's what they're doing here, at least from that third quarterback standpoint. But that's what they're doing from the team as a whole, I believe. They're trying to build this team up to bring, and this defense now is not going to be relying on just three players. Right? You're not just relying on Derek Brown, Frankie Louvu, and Brian Burns. You now have guys who, like Clowney, had 9.5 sacks last year. You now have a DJ Wanum who had 8 sacks last year. You now have a Sean Robinson who's a block eater, who's a true nose tackle, that eats blocks up to then that opens up Derek Brown to thrive, right? But then that opens up the other side and to DJ Wanum to make the play. You get Josie Jewell. His production was not that far off from Frankie Louvu if you look at it from a production standpoint. Now, I will say Frankie Louvu, but you don't pay Frankie. But then Frankie Louvu, again, is better pass rusher than Josie Jewell, and he's better sideline linebacker. But Josie Jewell does fit the mold for what the narrative in this 3-4 defense that we're trying to pursue with this team. It's like what they say in, I feel like it's what they say in like Star Wars. It's like you're trying to bring balance to the force, right? Well, we're trying to bring balance as an organization, right? As a team. And they're bringing guys in. Again, I think a lot of people aren't saying this, but they're bringing in guys that fit the scheme. It's not they're bringing in guys that, like, they actually, I feel like, have a plan. Like, they know what they're going to be using this guy for. Like, they know, like, each and every one of these guys are going to have a particular job, right, that fits the scheme. Now, another thing is with Jadeveon Clowney is that I'm going to show you a couple stats here real quick. So this is a one I found, or got sent to me in the Discord. Run stops last season. Derek Brown. This is why I think they're trying to bring balance here. And another thing is what was the biggest issue with the Carolina Panthers defense? It wasn't the pass. It wasn't as much as the pass rush, as much as it was the run game. The run game was killer last year. We got ran all over. Okay? We got ran all over last year. But now we got guys who can stop the run. Brian Burns was not very good at stopping the run. Last 2 seasons, look at that. Run stops, 80. First among defensive linemen, 9th among defensive linemen. Now you got Jadeveon Clowney, who is 90.9 run defensive grade since 2015, with the 5th best mark among edge defenders, and 171 stops are 4th most in the NFL. Okay, so now bring some balance to that run defense, which is what we needed. Yeah, I mean, again, AJ Brooks, yeah, but that's the thing. We'll complain about trying to fill the void of where most of the pressures come. See, the another thing is that the whole Bozeman thing, it's that last year the pressures and the 8 sacks that he recorded was not on him. I've said that before. Go look at the pressures. Most of the pressures came off the right guard and the left guard position, which caused it to make it look like Bozeman, because Bozeman had to try to pick up the slack, and it forced him to be the guy that ends up getting bullied, and then also the one that caused him to get sacked, that said that he allowed 8 sacks. It wasn't. The percentage-wise between the left guard and the right guard were the reasons why we allowed the most pressures, was between those 2 positions. But also we couldn't run the ball because of those 2 positions. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't just pay Burns and then expect to think that you're going to fill all these other voids. You're just not. You can't fill all the voids in the draft, because you don't know if these guys, you can't fill all the voids of these guys just in one draft. And you don't know if those guys, like a Zach, as high as I am on Zach Frazier, yeah, I might think he's a day 1 starter, but that might not mean he is. PFF, JPJ's, we can say he's a day 1 starter, but that's not always how it pans out. I mean, I think the draft is, yes, these guys are good. I think we know that these guys are, like, some of these guys coming out of the draft, we know they're good. We can sit there and say that they're going to be, day 1 starters, but do we really particularly know that? Yeah, I saw that, Marcos. Thank you for Marcos just said in the chat, Hunt, Lewis, Clowney, want them together will be under 24 million cap hit in 2024. Burns franchise tag was 24 million. So again, it's either you pay these, that's what I'm getting at, Marcos, and I appreciate that. You either pay these guys, you get 4 guys, and you fill the voids for 1 guy. Or you pay 1 guy and you're like, oh, well, the production. Well, you pay that guy and you're not able to get anybody else. And then you pay, and it's like you pay for an A+ guy, but then you can only afford C- players. That's what's called retooling. You play for an A+ guy, but then you go out and get a C- player. It just doesn't make sense. Why pay that much money for one guy, for one person who's going to give you some production that's not even worth a damn? But now and here's the thing, Burns might go to New York and have major production, because if you look at that defensive line, it is scary between Thibodeau and Lawrence. But he might fit the narrative there better. And that's okay. Yeah, Matt Chatter, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that too. I think we need to see what we have. And I think that's what they're doing. That's the reason why they're making these moves, man. That's why they're making these moves, is to bring stability to this organization and to this team. I think we're done unless they go get Gilmore. I think if we get Gilmore, Miss Rand, I mean, there's content creators out there that they think they know the cap, but they really don't. Just gonna say that. That's all I'm gonna say. No offense. But this is why I was pounding the table for Carolina to get rid of him, because of the money he thinks he's worth, and he's not. JP, what's up? JP had some good points last night on the Black Hat Panthers podcast. I love what he said. And great minds think alike, JP. Great minds think alike. But we do need to see what we have in the quarterback, right? Now, I totally agree with that. Clowney also had, this is another fun fact for you guys. Clowney had 78 quarterback pressures 2023, which was a career high. There was another fun little statistic I found. Edge pass rushing win rate. Looking at number 5. Technically, he's someone told me technically he's tied for 4th, but I don't understand the concept of that. But right now he's ranked, as of last year, finishing up the year, he finished number 5. So he had 66 wins over 267 plays, 25% win rate, double team 25% of the time. Here's Brian Burns, 40 wins, 189 plays, 21% win rate, double team only 14% of the time. So, facts are facts. And then there's a nice little PFF of his statistics last year. So, overall, pretty good grading. And I think PFF had him rank. Let's go pass rusher rankings. Because last year, Brian Burns finished 37th. No, he didn't finish 37th. He finished higher than that. He finished 38th. And Jadeveon Clowney for them. Damn, they don't even have Clowney on the top 30 on PFF. No, they don't. Wow. So where did he finish then? There's no way. Maybe because I have it as edge. Oh, there he is. No, they had him finish 18. They had Jadeveon Clowney finishing at 18th. So You compare his grading to Brian Burns' grading, it definitely isn't as good. I would say run. Yeah, I mean, it's not even, they're not even close. Not even close. I mean, that's what I'm getting. That's what the whole point is here. They're trying to build a well-rounded team, and there's a bigger picture. And I think that that's the issue. What? Hey, yo, do you know any players personally? Like, who are the NFL players raving about? Hey, yo, do you know any players personally? I don't know any NFL. Well, I know Hunter Renfro, not on personal level, but he like we went. He went to the high school literally 10 minutes down the road from my house. I met Marcus Lattimore once. I met Jadeveon Clowney once. But that was when he was like first at South Carolina. Who else have I met? I am but that's it. I don't know anybody personally though. But who are the NFL players raving about? I don't know if they're who the NFL players are raving about. I don't know. All right. Let's get into this. Yeah, I they're not going to get him though as the number 3. Call him up and ask who they should pick at 33. I don't have his number, man. Like I said, I don't know him personally. I mean, are you just trying to be fucking smart with me or what? Because you're subscribed, but I'm just trying to understand. Are you trying to be smart or what? All right, let's get into this. So, obviously, I still believe that the Carolina Panthers are in dire need of quarterback assistance, whether it's through the draft or whether they go out and get another guy. But even if they go out and get Stefon Gilmore, I still see them going in the draft and getting a corner. I still think they need that. And whether that is the right move or not, some of you might believe that it is. Some of you might not believe it is. Given that J.C. Horn's injury and trade of Diontae Jackson to the Steelers, the team did sign Zane Jackson. They brought back Troy Hill for depth, but there's no denying we need a little bit more firepower. Now, I'm not saying Stefon Gilmore at 33 years old is going to bring the firepower that we truly, honestly need because he's kind of on his way out, right? But does he bring the experience? Does he bring the veteran status that I think this team could use on the defensive side of the ball? Absolutely. Now, rumors have been circulating that we know that they have reached out to Stephon Gilmore as about a potential return. Now, but now, which would be, I think, a game changer, potentially. But anyways, so before you guys get excited, it's important to note that there are, I think, significant obstacles to overcome before this becomes a reality. Now, in 2020, we did acquire Gilmore via trade, New England, but it was eventually released because they decided to release him due to injury complications, whatever. Now, despite this, he remained a productive player, and his departure from the team was surprise to many. Now, the previous regime instead opted to give a lucrative extension to Diontae Jackson, then leaving Gilmore to free to sign with the Indianapolis Colts and then later the Dallas Cowboys. Now, although Gilmore's return to the Panthers would be a great reunion, at least for, I would say, these two guys, right? Uh, But there is much more to be done before this really can happen, I think. For one, the Panthers have to rebuild bridges with Gilmore and convince him that the decision he makes would be a surplus decision due to the requirements and are some of the people that are no longer around. And additionally, I think Gilmore's career ambitions must be taken into account again, right? He is 33 years old and likely only has a few seasons left in him. It's possible that he may prefer to join a team that has better chances of contending rather than waiting for our rebuild to be done, right? Obviously, it's exciting to think about, but I would say keep your expectations at a minimum because yes, it's an attractive proposal. It's intriguing, right? But it's going to be difficult for her, I think, for us to convince him to return, even though we got a former teammate of his. So we'll see if they can pull this off. But if not, we better go into the draft hot and heavy. Looking to get another, right? Where are you from, Clay? I'm 45 minutes from where, Hunter Renfro. I am from South Carolina. I'm near I'll just say this. I'm near the beach. That's all I'm going to say. I'm waiting to see the draft. I'm waiting to see the draft too, because that's what we're moving on to next. Not being smart, just asking sometimes NFL. I don't have any NFL players on speed dial. If I did, we would have been popping interviews right and left already. I would love to do that one day. I would love to be able to interview some NFL players or some Carolina Panthers. I would love to bring some guys on. If anybody has any recommendations on how to do that, that would be great. But would love to pursue that into the future for this team, for this channel. What'd you send me? Y'all sending me stuff? JP's in here. What up, JP? What'd you send me over here? Adding Clowney rounds out the defense. Yep. I think one of the most underrated signings we did have, though, was Jordan Fuller. I really like that move a lot. Offensive tackle Caleb McGarry from the Falcons is my cousin. No, that's kind of cool. If he gets a receiver, one of the best seconds, we better win at least 5 or he is a bust. AJ, you're almost faced to pick the highest center possible at 33. Hope the kid is the day one starter, in my opinion. I don't trust Corbett as a starter center, regardless of what Canal says. That's what I'm saying, JP. I said that yesterday, and a lot of people did not agree. A lot of people didn't agree with me that we should go. Everybody was like, we got to go Chop. We got to go Keon at 33. We got to go, this guy, that guy at 33, not Zach Frazier. I mean, you need to round out the deep offensive line now. I cannot rely on a guy towards ACL and MCL. I just don't get why people just don't understand that. They might be. They might not be. Nice. It's not too bad. Conway. That ain't far at all. That's like right down the road. So 33, Zach Frazier. 39, Cooper. Ooh. Are you talking about my boy Edgerrin Cooper? I like Edgerrin Cooper a lot. I like Edgerrin Cooper a lot. If you say 30, I like him back. I like Edgerrin Cooper out of A&M than I do Peyton Wilson. I know everybody's high on Peyton Wilson, but the problem is with Peyton Wilson is this. He is, I think he's injury prone. It worries me because he tore his ACL. So I'd rather go with Edgerrin Cooper. I like Cooper a lot, man. He fits the mold. He fits the mold of that 3-4 defense. 65, maybe Ricky Paracel. I could go many ways at those picks. I think 33, 39, 65. T. Thompson is the only guy in here that just does not think that we're drafting center early. They are, and I don't know where he said that they already said that, but I don't know. He said, and he didn't say it in the Austin Corbett thing. I can tell you that. I watched the whole interview. So I'll go back and rewatch it and see if I missed something, but you know. Clay, any chance the new coaching staff can fix TMJ? I would say I would say it's not impossible. I would say it's not impossible, but I would say, we've seen Canales work his magic more with we've known him to work his magic more with the quarterbacks, right? With Geno, Russ and Baker Mayfield. But him with TMJ, can he research that kid's career and bring him back to his LSU ways, the way out of LSU, the way he played LSU? I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of impossible, but I wouldn't put money down on it. I wouldn't put money down on it. You know what I mean? T. Thompson, I'm not saying that I think that we're taking center at 33. I'm just saying I think we need to take center at 33 because I'm scared that JPJ, Zach Frazier, and Van Pran could be one of those three. That those guys could go anywhere, but they're going anywhere between the first, second, and third round. Basically, after those are gone, bro, that's it. Once JPJ is off the board, Zach Frazier's off the board, and Van Pran is off the board, you're taking chances with a Bogues Limmer out of Arkansas, a Drake Nugent out of Michigan, and then you're going to either have to go with Delmar Glaze out of Maryland, who's more of a versatile, rotating kind of guard / center, or you're going with a Nick McMahon out of NC State or Bortiolione out of Wisconsin. Like you're taking those three guys that I mentioned, though, you're getting them. You have to get one of them. And they're going between the first and third round. They will not fall past that. So, again, I'm not necessarily saying they have to do it at 33, but they're going to have to do it. But since we only have 2 second-round picks in the third, it's either going to be the second or the third round pick. It's either going to be one of the 2 second-round picks or the third-round pick. Because after that, he's gone. Unless somehow they trade back and somehow they're able to land him. One of the 3. I'm telling you that right now. I've checked him out. I like him I would say consider Barton at center. I like that he can rotate in the other positions. I mean, he can play left tackle or left guard. It's just nice, but he's had his time at center too. I wouldn't be mad about it. Yeah, I think it would be foolish if we didn't go center. But all I'm saying is after those Van Pran, like I'm saying, after JPJ, Zach Frazier, and Van Pran are off the board, it's very slim pickets for the center position. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like we would have to go at least either one of the 2 second-round picks or the third. I just don't see a world where you don't. Van Pran. Matt Chat, his name's Cedric Van Pran out of Georgia. You think Thomas going to carry us this season? I hope to God not. He's going to carry. The only thing he's going to carry is the bench. That's what he's going to carry. Bricks for hands. Check the Discord. All right, I'll check it out. What if we sign Trey Turner? Would that take the pressure off of us needing to get a center? No. Trey Turner plays right guard. He mainly plays right guard. And he's all right. And plus, he's like 30-something years old. He's got to be at least 32 now. 32. Still want a power back. I want a power back too. Smash that like. Graham Barton can play center. He's versatile like that. When he was a freshman at Duke, he started out at center position. Looks like what do we got here? Let's see what Diontae Johnson's got. That 5 gonna look good on me. Is he wearing 5? Is that what he's saying? Is he gonna wear number 5? All right, we got Graham Barton film here. Said some Panthers food for thought. And I'm gonna share this screen real quick. Some Panthers food for thought. Barton doing O-line drills, snapping the ball. Carolina's been an immediate plan at center, moving Austin Corbett from right guard. But Barton would be a long-term option. Played center as a freshman, like I said, and then the last 3 years at left tackle. Panthers had the 33rd and 39th pick. So again, I'm telling you guys, I'm just telling you. Looks like though, kind of. He kind of looks like in the face Austin Corbett a little bit. Like if you put them side to side, they kind of look alike. And I'm talking about in the face structure. Austin, what's up? I'd love to grab Graham Barton too. AJ, I like Parasol. Can't front. I like his upside potential more than Lads. Honestly, I'm learning from Johnson and Thielen. Could greatly benefit him. Won't cost the top pick. Thanks, Dom. I appreciate that comment, man. At the end of the day, we all want to entertain. At the end of the day, we all want to be entertained. If Bryce don't step up, I want entertaining running back. JPJ, absolutely love him under Adams' wing. Yeah. Or JP. Oh, you're talking about Ricky Parasol. Yeah. I think him under Adams' wing would be amazing. I would think that would be amazing. So, having him and Flame, you're right. He probably is going after this year, but it would be great to have him work up some of these rookies. Like if we got a guy like Parasol, Graham Barton. I thought I was the one of the few who was looking at him, Josh. Now I've been slowing down my roll a little bit on the Keon Coleman, Xavier Leggett train. I have been going into, I'm looking into the route running tree a little bit more. All right. I also like Malachi Corley. And I also like, but of course, if he falls, I would love to get him. Which it could be a possibility, but it's probably it's probably a reach. If anybody I could get at 33, it would be Adonia Mitchell. But that's just me. Speaking of route running trees, what was I looking at the other day? I want to show y'all this. There was a route running tree. Where did I get that route running tree from? I wanted to show you some draft picks route running trees. Who did that route running tree? Ooh. Hold on. Was it Scout D that did it? I can't remember who did the route running tree. Or was it Football Insights? Somebody was doing the route running trees. Somebody was doing it the other day. There was like this one's Malik Neighbors. Yeah, but this guy, was it this guy that's doing the route running trees? There's a lot of guys out here do a lot of like route running trees, and they like make these charts like the one I'm about to share with you on Diontae Johnson. Was it who made this? Okay, Matt Harmon. Here it is. This is the guy. This is the guy that makes the route running trees. So he did one for Malik Neighbors. I think he did it some other ones. That's Neighbors. Marvin Harrison. Austin Wright, yeah, I was talking about Cedric Van Pran earlier, but Cooper Beebe is more of a left guard. I mean, great. If we got him, I wouldn't be mad about it. I just don't know if it's a need now because of Damian Lewis, but you never know. They might still try to bring in. I mean, they might. Who knows, man? They might bring in an extra guy to the left guard position and the center. They might bring in some more guys on that offensive line. You never know. You never know. Adam Thielen is all about separation. Yeah, I know he's on a 3-year deal, but he might retire. He might. Well, keep pounding. We don't really need a right guard with Damian Lewis now. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think we really need a right guard, but some of you might think differently. Wish he had more. Has he just done Marvin Harrison and Neighbors? Is that it? Damn, dude. Or is it just on this channel, Route Perception? Following this. Maybe it's on here. I saw it the other day. He did like, okay, there's Marvin's. There's Rome's. Who else has he got? Caleb Williams. Curtis Samuel. Here's the Diontae Johnson one. Here's the Diontae Johnson one. Yeah, I know that. I know. I just don't know if we need to waste a draft pick on a guy for a backup role, though. That's the thing I'm getting at. I don't think they're going to waste a draft. But the thing is, keep pounding. You don't waste draft picks on backup role players. That's not the point. Lewis is the left guard. Hunt is the right guard. T. Thompson's right. I think I said it backwards. But that was because I was also reading the comments. So. I think is Hunter Renfrow still out there? That's a good question. Like, is Hunter Renfrow still out there? All right, let's get into. I was trying to find the route running trees to see if there's maybe if this guy did some, because I know he was doing route running trees for some of the. I didn't know if he's done any of the new rookies, but it looks like he's only done like the top 3 rookies, and he was just doing the free agency. But all right. All right, so let's get into the next topic here. Sorry, I'm getting off topic a lot lately. Let's talk about this real quick. So Adam Thielen came out and said that everything was stacked against him, basically saying that Bryce's rookie season was far from ideal, right? Even being the first overall pick, Young struggled to complete just under 60% of his passes and throw almost as many interceptions as touchdowns. However, his teammate Adam Thielen has spoke out in his defense of the young quarterback and is stating that everything was stacked against him and during his first year of the NFL. Now, Thielen has praised Young's maturity, ability to handle adversity despite that unstable situation last year, found himself with the Panthers. The team fired its head coach midseason, right? And Young was frequently sacked due to the offensive line representing Swiss cheese. And despite all of this, Thielen came out and said that he believes that Young has the potential to succeed with the right coaching staff and support system and around him. I think thankfully that the Panthers are taking steps in the right direction to help Young, right? With hiring Dave Canales as a head coach who's had his time of being known as that quarterback guru, right? Being able to rejuvenate Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield, but then also helping out Russell Wilson through his time in Seattle. They added an addition of Diontae Johnson. They invested in the offensive line. Now it's down to the fact that Young has a better chance of showing if he is the guy or not. Can he prove himself as the quarterback as we continue to build around him? Because it's not done building. We still have the draft. It's a huge win for the team. What they've done this offseason is nothing short of extraordinary in my eyes. I'm not going to hype it up and say that this is the perfect offseason. We're going to win 10 games. We're going to win the NFC South. We're going to the playoffs. No. What they're doing right now is just bringing stability and balance to be competitive again. And all I'm asking for is to see if Bryce Young the guy or not. Go out there and grab him another wide receiver. Add another tight end, bring in a power back, add to the center position, fill some void, add some more depth to the defense. Do what Jacksonville did for Trevor Lawrence, basically, and see what you got. If it doesn't work out, guess what? At least you built this team up now that you can plug and play someone else. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to have a debate about the Bryce Young. Because I know some of you in the chat right now don't believe in the kid, and that's fine. You don't have to believe in the kid, but I'm just telling you. Yeah, you draft back up when your teams are good. Exactly. I mean, Hunt can say Hunt will probably. I'm not too worried about their health compared to Austin Corbett's. At least we know Hunt wasn't that bad, and Hunt was only that. I think that was the only season Robert Hunt's been injured last year. Was last year when he missed 6 games, whatever it was, 6 games. But I think that's the only time he's been injured since he's been in the NFL. So he don't have a chance without Tank Dell, rookie O-line, John. Marco says has 36 people watching, only 30 likes. Step on that like button. We've got 16 people over on Twitter. We got 39 over here on YouTube. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Sorry, sometimes I get caught up in some of y'all's comments. I've actually enjoyed the off season, whereas I was not confident at the end of the season that I would have good feeling at all terrible moves in 2023. At least he's putting some optimism into you, Sean. For others, not so much. I've said this on another podcast, and I don't listen to what they're saying. They are hiding all the intentions. You can't believe a thing they're saying. Chat, who can be Bryce? Who can be Bryce's Tank Dell? I think a guy like Malik Washington could be like a Tank Dell, possibly. He gives me those kinds of vibes. I think Malachi Corley could be another Tank Dell. I think him and Malachi Corley are probably about the same size more because Malik Washington's like 5'8". So he's more of a slot guy. Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, Cyburn. All right. Diontae Johnson. So how can he help out? How can he help and fix this offense? How can he help out Bryce? That's the biggest question, right? What can Diontae Johnson do? Well, he's going to need more help than just Adam Thielen, let's be honest. And he's going to need more help than Tommy Trimble. Okay. But we need to be well aware of the baggage that Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Diontae Johnson brought with him when they traded for him. The team believed that his exceptional ability to create separation, right? Provide second-year quarterback Bryce Young with a legitimate number one target overweighed the negatives. Now, during the NFL owners meeting in Orlando, first-year head coach Dave Canales confidently told the reporters that Johnson's release ability is second to none in his declaration, his deceleration. I'm sorry. Basically came out and said that, and the way that he explodes out his routes, he says is a dream for any quarterback. Now, Young had a nightmarish season, of course, in 2023. Of course, we can bring up the sack total, right? 62 times. And people don't want to believe it, but his receivers were struggled to get open. I will say this until I'm blue in the face. He had two of the top 10 worst wide receivers at creating separation. Jonathan Mingo and DJ Chark were both in that top 10. Jonathan Mingo also, when it came to first routes being open, so like if it was Bryce's first read, he was open below 25% of the time. Okay. None of them ranked higher. Here's the thing. None of them ranked higher than 37th in the open score with ESPN Analytics. You can go look it up. None of them ranked higher than 37th in open score. You know who that was? It was Adam Thielen. That was the only guy. And you can go on ESPN Analytics. So that defines as the likelihood a receiver would be able to complete a catch if targeted. Now, Johnson, on the other hand, was ranked 12th last season in the open score rate of a 79, making him a valuable addition to the team. Over the past two seasons, his open score rate of 94 is the best in the NFL. No Carolina receiver ranked in the top 40 over the past 2 years. Over the past 2 years. No Carolina receiver ranked in the top 40 over the past 2 years. Now, this team's top priority during the free agency was to sign Robert Hunt, but landing Johnson had a rank close to second to me. Now, Steelers coach Mike Tomlin praised Johnson, complete skill set, saying that he's an absolute awesome route runner. Can create separation, right? That's the thing here, right? Can create separation at the top of the routes, and it's tough to stay with. Now, general manager Dan Morgan was impressed with Johnson's ability to improve this team and culture and bring a different element than what they had in this roster. So even admitted that the team did a lot of research before trading because of the documented incidents that suggested otherwise. Now, however, there is still be excited about the player, right? The person and what he brings to the building and culture. The Panthers believe that Johnson was worth it to give Young the help that he needed beyond the pass protection, and which they got by investing, of course, $150 million in guards of Hunt and Damian Lewis. So overall, Johnson, I think it has the exceptional skill set, as you can see here. And I think Young can release the ball quicker and improve his performance on the field. And that was two things Dave Canales mentioned in his recent interview, talking about starting from the ground up with Bryce, working on his footwork. But one of the key things that he wants to get Bryce doing is getting the ball out quicker. I love you. You just said Malik. He's my number 2. Well, you've got me on him now. You got me on Malik Washington. I'm optimistic we'll win more than 2 games, but beginning to believe in Dan Morgan. Clay, sometime finish the statement. Wide receivers will fly off the board faster. Okay. He just got on his quarterback for not getting him the ball. Pickett wasn't good neither. Everybody wanted him in Carolina too. You all love terrible quarterbacks. Sam Howell was the best QB in that draft. Well, we know Flame for Jesus does not like Bryce Young. We know that. But let me see if I can pull up those ESPN analytics. See if I can find them again. All right, ESPN. Okay, question, Clay. It is responsible to say now that Bryce isn't the QB who's going to throw wide receivers open, then admit the draft analytics and talent evaluators lied last offseason. Wait, hold on. Okay, quick question, Clay. It is responsible to say now that Bryce isn't the QB who's going to throw wide receivers open then, and admit that draft analysts and talent evaluators lied last season. That is a tough question. JP, you hit me with a tough question. Oh, man, that is a tough question. I think that JP, you're making me think now because I'm trying to find I would say this. As for the honesty of analysts and I guess evaluators, I think when it comes to their assessments can vary based on factors, right? Like performance, potential, team needs. So it's possible their perspectives can shift over time. I think it's always important to critically evaluate information and considerable multiple viewpoints before drawing conclusions. Does that make sense? Like, that's how I would look at it. Like, I had to think about that for a second before I said something stupid. Like, I think that there's so many common opinions about players, not in just football, but in sports in general, right? To evolve as they perform and develop, right? As I was saying before. So, to your question, I think the most honest I can be about that, about your question and what you just said there, is what I'm saying now. I think that it's common for people to have their opinions about players, and that's in any sport in general. And, depending on, because you think about it, it's not unusual for those types of opinions, right? Players to change as they continue to perform and grow, right? In any sport. So when it comes to the people of honesty of analysts and evaluators, their assessments may differ depending on factors such as potential, like I said, potential performance, team requirements. So it's conceivable that their views may shift over time. I think it's always best to assess information critically and take into account different perspectives before coming to conclusions. I think that's the best way to go about it. Like, we can look at the analytics. We can go and check out the analytics, right? But that's the way I look at it. Clay, are you sure you shouldn't be a lawyer? Matt Chatter, sometimes I have my smart moments, sometimes I have my dumb moments. I'll be honest. Sometimes I have my smart moments, sometimes I have my dumb moments. I think we all do. I think another thing with Bryce Young is this. I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I'll say it to the blue until I'm blue in the face. I have given y'all my thoughts on Bryce Young. Okay? I have given you every last detail about Bryce Young and what I think about him and how I feel about him and what I think factored into last year, right? I have multiple times come on here and told y'all that. And, I think there's multiple situations here. I think there's multiple situations, right, that have tagged along into this. Okay? I'm just saying, I don't. Clay does make good arguments. Like, for me, Clay for Bryce, he'll have to win the division this year to prove himself to me. That is my opinion. Chris, I think that you're asking way too much, honestly. This team's not ready to win now. Whether y'all want to believe that or not, this team has been built through the free agency just now, just to bring stability and balance back to this team. Because on the defensive side of the ball, right? When you look at the defensive side of the ball, they brought more. There's more there. This team is not ready to win a division. And Chris, if you think they're ready to win a division now, you definitely need to rethink that. You definitely need to rethink that because they're not. So you might as well go ahead to say that to Bryce to have to win the division for you to prove himself. I don't think that's totally wrong. I think that if Bryce needs to just show that he needs to improve on his footwork. He needs to improve on his deep ball accuracy. And if I see improvement in his statistics, If he throws for more than 30, if he throws for over, for me, I think to say he's the guy, I told y'all this before, and for me to give him another year of chance, he needs to throw for over 3,500 yards. He needs to throw for at least 20 plus touchdowns and 12 interceptions. I just don't see. I can't go based off of. I just can't do it. I can't say that for me to say Bryce is the guy. You have to win a division. This is a rebuild. This is not win now. Just asking questions because of us going over the wide receiver stats. I know your views on Bryce by now, bro. Yeah, I'm going over I was trying to go over the analytics side of things. Like, I wanted to show y'all the ESPN version because that one's kind of cool if I can pull it up. I'm trying to find the one that I wanted to pull up for you guys to see. What is this? No. Okay, so offensive tackle win rate. None of our guys are even top 10. Nobody was top 10 there. So there was that, but they don't have any of the. Yeah, I know that, but I'm trying to find the analytics thing. All right, I'll have to find it another day. I mean, but that Chris, I mean, I get that, and you can be pissed off at them, but I'm not one of those guys. I've come on here and said multiple times, there's positive things, there's negative things, and then there's challenges ahead. And what does that mean when they say challenges ahead? Well, he has to get better at these certain things. I think that, but you saying to win a division is just because what the other Bryce believers believe. There's no reason for that. Canal said we're contention for the South now, Clay. It all depends on that run game, though. Flame for Jesus. Unfortunately, I think it does. I think unfortunately it does. You have to look at the. Hopefully, we can run the ball this year, but again, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. Because I don't trust Miles Sanders. I brought into Clay's narrative about Bryce had no weapons because Shark was not who I thought he was. Yeah, Canales might need to pump the brakes on that. Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to do, and I appreciate that. I appreciate he's trying to do that, but there's no reason for him. And he might mean it. He might be the hungry. He might be trying to bring that dog approach, and I appreciate that. I don't see it. I don't see this team being win now. I don't see this team. I don't see it. I just don't. Again, I need to see. The only thing I will tell you this about Bryce. He shows toughness, right? He got sacked more times than an eager shopper on Black Friday. Let's be honest. He was relentlessly faced pressure at a high rate. Okay. A lot of critics still are highlighting his size, and that is a disadvantage a little bit. Okay. but he's obviously durable enough to play. Extending plays, I would say, were the positives. He was able to extend plays. The silver lining, that was kind of the silver lining for me, to seeing that he could extend plays, the maturity. But the negatives were footwork, downfield accuracy, elevating his playmakers. And then the challenges ahead, of course, is that he's got to get better statistically, right? Which that includes into the campaign of getting better with his footwork, getting better with his deep ball accuracy, stepping into those throws because he's too much on his tippy toes. I think the defense is going to be good this year. I think the defense has actually improved overall. I think it's way more well balanced with the way they've set it up. And I look forward to seeing what they do. Well, if that's the case, I think that's a smart move, because if you think about it, that hip tackling, this is the thing y'all got to put into perspective too. Those new NFL rules with the hip tackling, the new hip tackling thing, Derrick Henry's going to eat. Derrick Henry is going to absolutely eat with that new hip tackling. Same thing with with like George Kittle. So if I'm Carolina, I'm going out in this draft and I'm getting a big tight end and I'm getting a big running back. Because of the new rules. You have to play these new rules into a factor of how you build your roster. I mean, you do. You have to think about that now. With the new rules in the NFL, these teams have to think about how they're going to build this team and this roster. Because I can tell you right now, that hip drop rule, I still fucking hate it. I hate it. I despise it. I think it's bullshit. And it needs to go. It needs to go. The problem is the NFL needs to stop legislating rules and start letting the players play. Just say, yeah, I mean, you got to look at it that way. I mean, so with the new hip drop rule and that other rule with the blindside hits, I'm telling you, you need to go ahead. And if you're going, hey, that's even for your fantasy teams this year. You better go with the big bruiser running backs, and you better go with the big, huge running backs. Because I can tell you right now what I'm doing. My first two picks, I'm going big ass running backs. I'm going Derrick Henry. I'm going all the power running backs. And I'm going all the big ass tight ends. Because of those new hip drop. Just because of that new hip drop rule. I'm telling you right now. Telling you. Watch. But then the injury rate's going to go up higher because of it. And the injury rate's going to go up higher. And it's not going to it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be good. See, they think they're preventing injuries, but they're really not. I look forward to seeing what Tommy Tremble does. I'm looking forward to seeing what Tommy Tremble does. I just don't know how I feel about it. Jonathan Brooks is who they want. I mean, I'm okay with it, but the injury concerns does concern me. I'd rather go and wait till to get I'd rather go back and get I'd rather go and get Braylon Allen, but that's just me. I want Braylon Allen too, Chris. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to tackle Bijan. Yeah, I think that he's going to. I think here's the thing with Tommy Tremble, right? If you want to talk about Tommy Tremble, I think he's going to benefit in this situation. I mean, the problem is that we have to find consistency in the tight end position, right? We have to find consistency in the tight end production because he we have been we haven't been if you think about it, we haven't had a tight end since Greg Olson. And the veterans we have haven't met expectations. And the young players we've acquired haven't filled that void. And you cannot continue to have this when you have a rookie quarterback and a new head coach. So you got to reinforce. I still think you have to reinforce this tight end room because you released Hayden Hurst, right? So I think you either got to add another veteran, but free agency slim pickings, or you got to go to the draft route, which is looking more like the way they're going to go. But I don't dismiss the prospect of Tommy Tremble. I think he's going to get a significant upturn in the workload here. And he continues to have some flashy moments on the field and some promising moments. But he's never taken that next step to that genuine number one option. So there's a lack of trust for me into him as a player. Now, I think it would be strange if they didn't add any tight ends to this team, at least in this draft, at least one. Because at the same time, you have to think about it. You have to be willing to give Tremble a genuine shot to prove his worth, for sure. I just hope that if that's the case, he can make the most of his opportunity. What did PFF say about him? Let's see what PFF said about Braylon Allen. Carson Steele. Nice. Oh my God. Could you imagine Jerome Bettis running in today's football now with the no hip drop tackle thing? Oh my God. Insane. Edgar, Panthers, OC, and O-line are at UW, presumably checking out. Edgar, this guy's always on Twitter posting something. So OC, Brad Ezek, offensive lineman Joe Gilbert are at the UW today, University of Washington. They're presumably checking out Jalen Polk, Jalen McMillan, Roger Rosengarten, and Troy Fonatu. You're talking about Audric Esteem, Flame for Jesus. You're talking about Audric Esteem. That's who you're talking about. He's a big bruiser back. Big bruiser back. Big bruiser. All right. Do y'all like this mock draft simulator better, or did y'all like the PFF one better? Because I can't remember. I mean, it's just like me coming on here saying, this guy's going to be good. PFF is better, in my opinion. All right, let's go with PFF. All right, let's go see if PFF has updated their shit. Ooh, you know what we're going to be able to do soon? Now that the Discord's built up, I might have to make a Madden channel And I think there's a way from Madden I can chew it from. We could do the rebuild in Madden. That would be fun. Through the Discord, there's a way I can stream it from there to the Discord from the Xbox. So might have to do that. Plus, with my handy dandy stream deck, I might be able to do that for you guys. Been working on it, but I might have to get a new computer. Apparently, my Mac does not bode well with streaming services besides the one I'm using right now. Let me share my screen. We got some merch on the way too. I got some merch coming. That's the next big thing. I'm gonna get some street wear. We're gonna get some street kind of wear for like Panthers wear put together, stuff like that. I could blow up the chat, but out of respect, I will not. No worries. No worries. All right, we're gonna rock with this. All right, they still have not updated the Giants one yet. All right, so this is where it's going to get interesting, because now we got Jadeveon Clowney. I don't feel the need that I have to go edge rusher my first pick. Do y'all still think you want to go? Here's the question, Panthers fans, you guys in the chat. Do you believe that we need to go edge rusher still? Like, I know at some point maybe in the draft, but like, do you think you need to go at it at least with the first two picks? That's the question. Because this is interesting to me now. You get Jadeveon Clowney, right? Now, obviously, I think linebacker is definitely another position we need to fill. Okay. Now, edge rusher, these guys, you got to understand, can play outside linebacker. They can also come off the edge, right? Chop is not here. T. Thompson. I know that we all. I'm a Chop fan too. Chop all day. But I'm not sure if I'm willing to take any of these guys at 33. Now, again, Zach Frazier's there. I know y'all hate the fact about Zach Frazier at 31. I don't even know if did Barton already get off the board? Graham Barton's already off the board. Okay. So if we're thinking, right, so let's go through this together. All right. We're a team here. We're a team. I got to stand the hell up. We're Dan Morgan, Brant Tillis, Dave Canales. All of us are. Okay. So we're picking this. We're going through this draft. All right, we're on the board. We have obviously we have two options. We make a pick here or we trade back, right? So here's the question. I know y'all don't like center. I know that we need CB. I know a lot of you guys like Peyton Wilson. I'm not a big Peyton Wilson fan. I'm going to be honest with you. I like him, but the injuries are a big concern for me with this guy. Okay. His injuries are a big concern with me. Right? So, I do like that. I do like TJ Tampa too. Now, every time I don't pick Zach Frazier, he's gone. Got you. Okay. All right. Let's do this. We're going to make this fun. We're going to make it fun. We're going to start a poll. Okay. Mock draft poll. Okay. Mock draft poll. Trade back. Trade back at trade back number 33. Frazier. TJ Tampa. We'll put Tampa. We'll just put Tampa. All right, so that's what we're going to do here. Start the poll. We're just going to do polls. That's what we're going to do. So there's the poll. In the chat, you can go ahead and start. Because the first 3 picks, like none of the, I'm not going to, like the wide receiver position, I could go Troy Franklin, but I go Troy Franklin enough. So I'm going to let y'all vote. Got 6 votes in right now. Zach Frazier is leading the way. TJ Tampa. 7 votes. I see all y'all's comments. Frazier was just a dog running all over him. Imagine having Frazier trade back for another second or third. Remember, we had an outside linebacker, okay? Okay. All right. Ooh, Frazier right now is leading the way. Frazier right now. Trade back 33. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay. Countdown, and we're in the poll wherever it's at. It better not be tied. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Poll says Frazier. All right, so we're going to go Frazier. I just ended the poll. We ended that poll. This is Frazier. See, I'm letting you guys involved. All right, next pick. Gonna do another poll. Number 39. We're gonna go trade back or take wide receiver, edge, linebacker, actually, we'll probably go here. We'll probably go linebacker or corner. I think that would be better. All right, start the poll. Here we go. Got the poll up. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Let's see. See, I want y'all to get involved because I want to see how we can do as a team, as a community, how we do with this. So far, wide receivers leading the way. 11 votes already. 12 votes already. See if we get any more votes. Guys, make sure you pound the like button. And also, if you want to get involved into this beautiful mock draft we're doing together as a community here, I just want to see what y'all as a team, because y'all are the community here. I want to see what the community is. We went with Frazier was the first pick. Let's see what everybody else decides to do now. Now, if we go wide receiver, I'm going to have to start another poll. All right. Counting down to finish it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending the poll. Wide receiver wins. All right. So now I'm going to start another poll. So now we got the wide receivers up. So which 4 guys, put your 4 guys. Give me your 4 guys you want me to put on the poll. Give me the 4 wide receivers that you want me to put on the poll. You got Troy Franklin, Roman Wilson, Ricky Parasol, Jermaine Burton, Keon Coleman, Jalen Polk, Xavier Legette, Jalen McMillan, Xavier Worthy, Devontae Walker. Out of these guys, Malachi Corley, Brendan Rice, put it in the chat. Give me your 4 guys that you want on this poll. Because I want to make sure. So we're going to go Legette. So far, Legette seems to be on there. Okay, y'all think Franklin needs to be on there? I know we like a lot of people like Ricky. Now a lot of people like Ricky. So we got Franklin, Coleman, Legette, Worthy, Parasol. I see Legette, Coleman, Worthy, Parasol. I see Legette, Parasol, Franklin, Coleman. I see Franklin, Parasol, Coleman. So far, Coleman is definitely going on there. I wish I could add 5. But I can only add 4. All right, hold on. What we got? All right, let me count something here real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I see 4 Legettes. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Parasols. All right. There was more Parasols than there was. There was more Parasols than there was Legette, so we'll take him off. And then we'll put, I think I saw a lot of, I got Coleman, I got Franklin. There was a lot of Franklins. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Frank, it's between. All right. So how about this? We'll do this. Franklin and Legette are going to be in the same vote. Legette and Franklin are going to be in the same vote because they're tied. And then I saw a lot of Worthy. I can only put 4 options on the poll. I got Coleman, got Franklin, Legette, Parasol, Coleman. Who else am I missing? Oh, I think I saw a bunch of Worthies. Yeah, I saw a bunch of Worthies. Let's do it with Worthy. All right. Starting the poll. Now, if you do vote Franklin or Legette, we will then vote between the 2. If Legette and Franklin win, we'll vote between the 2. Worthy is gone? No, he's still up on the board. He's still up on the board. He's right here. Xavier Worthy. All right, I'm going to let y'all vote. I'm going to give you 1 more minute. Oh, wow. This poll is crazy. This poll is crazy. Yeah, he's pretty far down on this draft site. Yeah. JP's like, I need my swagger white receiver Parasol. Right now, it looks like Franklin and Legette's winning. Now, what I mean when we're voting for Franklin and Legette, we're not picking both of them, obviously. Now, I want you to understand that we are picking one of the 2. So we'll have to do another poll after that immediately if we do Franklin or Legette. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm in the poll now. It was Franklin and Leggett. Now you have to pick between Leggett and Franklin. Starting the poll now. Should I study on Parasol? You should. He is, I think he's better than, like, I know a lot of people like Ladd, but I like Parasol better. And Luke McCaffrey later. Let's see. Frank, so far, 12 votes. Franklin got blown out the water, bro. Franklin got blown out the water. Wow. 14 people voted and 93% of y'all went with him. 45 seconds left on the clock. 45 seconds left on the clock. Here we go. Franklin is overrated. We shall see. Wherever he lands, we'll see where he gets how much production he gets. Definitely, if you go look at his, he had top 4 production out of the big 4 wide receivers. He was top 4 in that production category. Half horse. Dear God. Pause. AJ Brook, pause with the half horse thing. Oh, Lord. We went there. All right. Leggett wins. All right. So we got a wide receiver. We got our center. And then y'all are the one who are picking this. This is not me picking now, by the way. Y'all are the one voting. Now we're at number 65. Here's another poll. Number 65. Out of these positions now, we need tight end. I would say we need corner, linebacker, probably we could go running back here if you want. No. Scroll down a little. I mean, what do we need left here? We got the wide receiver. We got the center. So we either need a tight end, linebacker, corner, or defensive line. All right, D-line. Here we go. Starting the poll. Starting it up. Number 65. Here we go. 1 minute starting on the clock. Starting now. Get your votes in. Get your votes in. All right, so if we're looking at these, we're going tight end, corner, D-line, linebacker. So you got some guys at D-line now here. Tight end, corner, D-line, linebacker. Now Tavondre Sweat's here. Know a lot of people like him. Max Melton's still here. You got Kyrie Jackson, Jeremiah Trotter. I do like Renardo Green out of Florida State. I do like him. What are y'all thinking? Let's see what y'all thinking. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Y'all gotta be shitting me. Ended the poll, 15 votes. Tied in. So you're telling me, guys, you know where the next tight end is ranked at? 103. All right, so we might need to do that again. Where's the running back position? Okay, there is a running back here. There are some running backs here. Okay, let's do this then. New poll. New poll, because I'm not going to make y'all do that. 65. Again, let's try it again. I'm getting y'all involved now. We're going to go running back, corner, because the options are just better at these positions right now than tight end. So we're definitely not going to go there. The people have spoken. We're getting the votes in, that's for sure. Woo! All right, they're coming in hot. So far, D line's winning. 10 votes are in. 20 seconds left on 20 seconds left on the clock. $20 seconds left on the clock. Here we go. Sorry, I've been saying 20 seconds left on the clock. Sorry. 10 seconds left on the clock. I'm watching it. 3, 2, 1. Ending the poll now. D-line. All right, we're going D-line. Going D-line. All right, let's see what we got. So basically, it's really just between Dorless, Sweat. And honestly, there ain't no comparison here. It's Tavondre Sweat. So here we go. This is going to, guys, I think you're all going to do a good job. I think you guys are going to do a good job on your draft. This is y'all's draft. I think y'all guys are going to do a good job. I really do. I really do. Y'all are good front office so far right now. Y'all are cooking it up, whipping it up like a stir fry. All right, so we got our D line. Let's put another poll chat up. So now here we go, starting another poll at the number 101. Here we go. I'm just going to put this in here for shits and giggles. Then I'm going to put the rest in this. So we got linebacker, corner, tight end. I think that's the only thing we would need left, right? Because we got our center, we got a wide receiver, we got D-line, linebacker, corner, tight end. All right, start the poll. Oh, well, running back. That's true. That's true. All right, so hold on. Before we start voting, let me here's your running backs. Here's your top 5 running backs right here. This is your top 5 running backs right now. All right. Top 5 running backs right there. Here's your top tight ends. There's your top tight ends. Top corners. DJ James, Chris Abrams-Drain, Jarvis Brown-Lee, Cam Hart, Elijah Jones. Last but not least, your linebackers. Maurice Liafu, Tommy Inchberg, Cedric Gray, Michael Barrett, J.D. Bertrand. Running backs, I'm going to go over those again since I didn't call them out. Ray Davis, Marshawn Lloyd, Audric Esteem, Braylon Allen, Will Shipley. So we're going to go by position first. We're on the clock starting and now. Poll starting now. Got 1 minute to go. I'm giving y'all 1 minute to start. Corner, so far is voting. Running back, linebacker, CB. And I'm going to post this one on Twitter now, guys. And I'm going to give y'all a shout out. I'm going to say chat. I'm going to say the chat voted on this mock draft. I'm going to say the Ropp Star gang voted on the freaking mock draft. I'm going to post this up on Twitter for you guys. All right. Ten seconds. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the poll, running back is the winner. All right, so now we got to go with, I'm just going to go with the top 4 guys here. I'm just going to go with the top 4 guys, and I'm going to let y'all pick between those 4. Actually, honestly, you know what? Nah, I'm skipping Ray Davis. We're going to do this. Do a people's mock draft. Honestly, I did it to spur the moment, man. I just like, you know what? I'm always the one picking. And sometimes I know lately I've been pretty boring with mine lately. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I've been pretty boring with my because like I'm so indecisive because like I know one way I want to go one way, another one I don't. Right? So I'm going to put up I'm going to put up these guys' last names and I'm going to let y'all vote. Ready, go. We're going to see how good y'all do. Damn. I know the first vote that popped up there so quickly was definitely freaking damn AJ Brooks. I know for a fact he hopped all over that. AJ, what are you going to do if like Braylon Allen does? Like, what if the PFF is right and he just ends up sucking? What are you going to do? Are you going to go into hiding? Just kidding. I'm just messing. Oh, wow. We got people voting for Davis and Lloyd. It's a close race here with Allen leading the way at 44 votes. 44 votes. 44. Oh, Esteem. Oh, try again with Esteem and Allen. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right. We got 11 votes. I'm going to give y'all some more time here. 30 seconds. Here we go. Starting now. $20 seconds. Better get your votes in. 20 seconds. This is y'all's draft now. This is y'all's mock draft. I'm letting y'all pick. Y'all watch me pick all the time. I'm letting y'all do this one. All right. Stop the cap in the poll. Braylon Allen it is. Now, we got back-to-back picks here. We got back-to-back picks here. All right. Back-to-back picks. Here it comes. So we got the defensive line. So we still need a tight end. We still need a corner. And we still need a linebacker. All right. Now, as of right now, let's put the vote in for those three positions. Here we go. Starting the poll at 141. So we're going to go tight end, corner, linebacker. Starting poll now. 1 minute on the clock. One minute on the clock. All right. So let me give you your top five while we're voting. Top five tight ends as of right now. It says Theo Johnson, Dallin Holker, Jaheim Bell, AJ Barner, Tip Riemann. When it comes to the corner position, Kalen King. You all know about my boy Dwight McLaughlin. Love this guy. I think is going to be an absolute steal. Dude, like look at that passer rating. Like his first year was terrible. Dude, man, 45.8 passer rating, 51.2. Just a freaking absolute stud. I don't know how he's this far back. I don't understand it. He's going to be a steal of the draft. I'm telling you. Ben Sinnott went at 139. Yep. All right. And then the best linebackers available left. Michael Barrett, J.D. Bertrand, Steely Chambers, Tyrone Hopper, Kalon Foe. You're all right. Corner wins. Corner wins the position battle here. I can tell you who I'm going with. But I'm going to start a poll. King. McLaughlin. I'm just going to put MC. Now we'll put Dwight. I'll just put Dwight MCG. Dwight MCG. I'm going to put go Pritchett and Still. And Still. All right. 1 minute on the clock starting now. Yeah, we can see the stats. So Kalen King, second year did very well. Very well. He's very good in the run defense, but terrible in coverage, zone coverage. 82.4 pass rating, which isn't that bad. Targeted 41 times. He allowed 25. 290 yards allowed. Played 12 games. I mean, he's solid. He's solid, but he ain't Dwight McLaughlin. That boy I know he only played 9 games, but 12 only allowed basically less than half receptions to targets. Only 132 yards, but he had 2 pick sixes this year, three totals of those, 3 total interceptions. And then Pritchett played 9 games, 58.8 passer rating, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not very good against the run. Pretty good in coverage. Man coverage, not so much. Zone coverage, he's definitely better in. And then still played 10 games. Had 5 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. Pretty good run defender. Okay in coverage, better in zone, not as good in man. All right, let's check the poll. Let's check the poll. I gave y'all 2 minutes on that one. All right, Dwight McLaughlin. But now we're right back to it. So now this is where it gets interesting. What did we go here? So we went running back there. So now we got to either go tight end. So now we either got to go tight end or corner or tight end. Well, yeah, just tight end now. So we can go tight end. Now this is where it gets interesting. We're going to start that poll at 142. Let's see what y'all pick here. We're going to go Theo Johnson. Okay. Holker. Bell. And Barner. Start the poll. Let's see how y'all's comes out. I think y'all are going to do good. I'm curious. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Let's look at the polls. All right, 9 votes so far. 10 votes. So far, 10 votes are voting Johnson. Nobody wants Barner. Holker. Okay. All right. I'm going to end the poll. And I'll give you 20 more seconds. 15 seconds starting now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Theo Johnson. Let's see. I can't wait to see how this turns out. I can't wait to see what grading you guys get. You know what would be crazy? Is if like we go through this and this is how the draft ends up being. I think the last pick, I'm just going to pick whoever the best available is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not taking a quarterback here. Unless you want me to take Devin Leary or Sam Hartman. Don't think so. No, Michael Pryor's not left. He's gone. Basically, I mean, it's either Darius. I mean, you could get another linebacker here. Oh, God. What wide receivers are left? This Hayden Hatton kid, man, I have a feeling this kid's going to be nasty. Like, back-to-back seasons. I know he played for Idaho, but back-to-back seasons, 1,200 yards. Targeted 109 times. 131 targets. 93 receptions. 83 receptions. 330. Dude, I have a feeling this kid might be like the next like Puka Nakua or some shit. I was watching his game film the other day. I mean, you talk about white boy swagger. JP was talking about it earlier. There's your white boy swagger right there. Dude, his ABP is lower than anybody else's on the rest of this list. Besides Trevin Wallace, I think. No, this Evan Anderson's got a high. This guy's got a decent grading. Evan Anderson, big boy, 6'3", 356. Damn. All right, Evan Anderson's got a 235 ADP. See if I can find someone else. Jared Wiley still here. 236. Edge rusher Zion. Ooh, Kingsley. No. Sam Hartman. Hayden Hatton. Damn. All right, we'll pick him for your last pick. How about that? Seems like chat was all about it. Well, here's y'all's mock draft. I mean, PFF did not like the PFF did not like y'all's Braylon Allen pick. And they weren't too hyped about the Xavier Legette pick. But they thought the Zach Frazier pick was a B+, Tavondre Sweat B-. PFF can suck it. Theo Johnson. Hatton a running back? No, he's a wide receiver. Dude, he can ball, man. He can I was watching some of his shit the other day. I was watching some of his game film. I was like, damn, that dude's pretty nasty. Not gonna lie. So, all right, guys. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. That was fun. I hope y'all enjoyed doing that as much as I enjoyed watching y'all do it. Because you're normally watching me, but I got to get you guys involved, and I felt like my I thought that was fun. So maybe we'll do that more often, get you guys involved. So I'm not sitting here trying to figure out what I really want to do. I'm going to go ahead and share this. So as you can see, we got the Discord. So I'm going to go ahead and upload your mock draft here. Go ahead and put it in the chat. There you go. That was mock draft. All right, perfect. I'll post it up on I'll post that up on Twitter as well. And I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. As always, make sure you pound the like button, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social media. Also, I will be doing some shorts. I'm going to get those out to you here today. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do that again here soon. So I appreciate everyone joining. As always, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. Peace.